Hi guys, I said I would shoot a follow-up video about going into the meet and having a couple struggles when I went into that thing. A couple of things started going sideways just in my day-to-day stuff. My mental headspace got a little dirty, and my goal is always to try to be as I don't know upfront with you guys as possible because I think that truth is where we all grow. And I've conquered a lot of things, working on a lot of things, and improving a lot of things. But I still have demons. I still have dark places that I go sometimes, and I have to work with. And sometimes those outside influences that are beyond my control still have an effect on me. So rolling into the meet, literally every day there was some stuff going sideways that I was dealing with, some personal stuff, some business stuff, some prior business partner bullshit, stuff like that. And like anything else, especially when you're peaking for a meet, strength is mental. So going into this, I wasn't at my best mentally overall. I could feel it physically taking a toll. Training had gone really well. I was really pumped about it. I had some numbers I wanted to hit. I set a national record in the bench for my age group. I set a world record in the bench for my age group. And that's great, but I had a bigger number in mind. I did a 476. I had a 501 in mind. In deadlift, I had a 625 in mind. And once I was warming up, 500 felt like cement. So I ended up finishing with a 551, put a 606 on the bar, 2 inches off the ground. That was it. It just wasn't going to happen. And really, what the big takeaway from that is for me is when I get past the emotion of not doing things the way I want or seeing the outcome that I wanted, is I have to also pay attention to the fact that despite a lot of the distractions that were happening, despite that headspace where I really, really was struggling, I showed up. I made sure that I said I was going to do something. I put that line in the sand and I still showed up game day. I still went and did what I was supposed to do. And on the day of the meet, just did my very best. Uh, Most people around me that know me could tell I wasn't myself. I was very quiet. Typically, in the meet, I'm loud and I'm whooping and I'm making all kinds of noise. And I came across as reserved because I was dealing with the internal. I was dealing with the battle that was going on between my ears, where I was really talking myself through it and making sure that I didn't let the mental stress and the emotions get the best of me. And, it was really about focusing within. The lone wolf happened. That's where, when things like this happen, I strip away a lot of things. And I went in, I drove alone. I spent my time alone. Even at the meet, I had my chair off way to the side, and I was there to spot my team, and they did wonderful, and I was very proud of them. But in between attempts and things like that and warm up, I sat alone. I spent the time just really focusing on myself. And it was draining. I was tired. You look at a couple of the videos I just put up about showing my deadlift and showing my bench. You could tell I'm quiet. You could tell I'm not myself. And that's the reality, that at the end of the day, we're going to have days where things just are harder. And, I can tell myself, that this is normal. I can tell myself that a lesser individual would have quit, not shown up. And that's absolutely correct. And as I get past some of the mental blocks that I'm working on, I'll sit back and truly appreciate that. But in the now, I'm still sitting there, upset about my performance, upset about the things that were stressing me, upset about some of the factors I had to deal with along the way that I just don't want to keep dealing with. I don't want to see happening. I want to get past them and stuff. But the reality is, most of them were outside of my control. Most of them were outside of my situation. I wasn't happy with a couple of situations I had to deal with. I wasn't happy where I was with some of my own resources. But I have to understand that that's where I'm at right now, and it's going to improve, and I'm going to be in a better place down the line as I strive for it. But the real message here, the real lesson here was, like everybody else, I have hard days. I tend to post a lot of positive. In fact, everything I post is positive because I want to be that. I want to be positive for myself, and I want to be positive for people that follow and watch. And you know what? At the meet, a lot of guys and girls came up to me and they were happy to see me there and telling me how they're following what I'm doing and how I'm inspiring them, and I'm helping them through their stuff. So that's value. That's my purpose. And at the end of the day, had I not shown up, not only would I have let myself down, I wouldn't have been able to have those conversations. I wouldn't have been able to have those connections. I wouldn't have been able to be a part of the whole environment and part of those lifters' lives and stuff, and they wouldn't have had a chance to express it. And it made a big difference. So at the end of the day, show up. At the end of the day, no matter what, if you say you're gonna fucking do something, commit, even if it fucking feels like it's impossible, because that's where the growth happens, and that's where the unknown opportunities happen, right? And when I sit back and I look back at things and I have a chance to digest it, despite everything that I was working with and dealing with, it made whatever I did and achieved that day 10 times more valuable, 10 times more impressive. It was just show up, be there, right? Commit to yourself. Don't give up on yourself. And, no matter what, it's easy. I say this a lot to a lot of people when I'm working with them. It's easy to do things when it's easy. It's tremendously difficult to do things when things are difficult. But that's really where we grow. That's really where that's the win. That's the real win. Trophies, awards, records, and stuff like that. That's all nice and gravy. But it's showing up and getting on the platform when you would really fucking feel like you can't, and just executing to the best of your ability, and then sit back and just take it in for what it's worth and appreciate the fact that no matter what, you showed up. And again, that's better than 97% of the population that do nothing, that say they want to do stuff but never execute. Being present, showing up is the real victory and the real win. So, I got some good lifts in. It ended up being a good day. It was a hard weekend all the way around for me. Leading into it was tough. And some of you that noticed it and reached out, thank you. I had a couple conversations about it as well, which was very positive and helps. But at the end of the day, I showed up when it would have been a lot easier just not to show up. So that's really the message I have for you guys on that today. I'm taking a break on powerlifting for the next few months. I'm switching over to bodybuilding, going to get cut as fuck and do that kind of stuff. So I'm going to shoot a little more video on that a little later on. But I just wanted to touch base on, no matter how cool it looks like people are doing, there's struggles and there's things beneath the surface and stuff. And I was swimming against the current this weekend and I still got there. So that's it. That's all I wanted to say about that. If you have any questions, you have any comments, if you want to share stuff that you're struggling with, reach out. I always try to make myself available to listen and to do what I can to help you guys keep moving forward. So thanks.